Hey, this is Kilo 5 Echo Delta Whiskey, and today we had a special request from,
K5AJH.
and that special request is a radio, but not just any radio,
A hot pink radio.
and I cannot find one anywhere, online or otherwise. So today we're going to make one. Stay tuned. Okay, we're going to do this pink radio with a Baofeng. This is the UV82 Baofeng radio. So the first thing we need to do is to, of course, take the battery off, and then we need to remove the case and all the buttons in preparation for paint. So let's take a look at how to do that. We'll just cover over the battery so the connections don't get paint on them, both on the outside and on the inside. And these latches need to be protected from paint as well. We're going to remove the volume knob, power button knob, and in the unit itself, we don't really need to worry about the screws that hold on the clip. We're going to remove the whole unit from the plastic that's on the outside here. So first thing is going to be to take if you have a tool that removes these very fine needle nose pliers, what you need to do is loosen up these rings that are both on the antenna side. Of course, the antenna is already off of this one, so this ring just unscrews. And the same thing on the power knob, volume knob. So we're going to loosen that one up, and we're going to take that one off. One thing to be careful of whenever you're painting is to make sure that you've masked off these areas with tape or something that keeps all of these threaded areas free of paint overspray. So in this case, the threads are actually on the innards of this radio, so you don't have to worry about getting the threads themselves full of paint, but the area around in here will have to be cleaned out before you can reassemble it. So after a spray paint of something, or like what we're doing, you'll need to make sure that's cleaned out. Okay, moving on to the next step. There are no screws on the outside or on the back of the battery that need to be taken off. We simply take a small flathead screwdriver and you pry away from the bottom to get the plastic off of these two lips, and the inside comes apart. So in this case we have two leads to the speaker here, and we'll need to remove those in order to completely disassemble this to make it safe for painting. So we're going to kick on the soldering iron and we'll take care of that real quick. While we're waiting for the soldering iron to warm up, I want to point out that this piece of plastic fell off of right here where the headphone jack, speaker jack is. So keep that piece of plastic safe. It goes right there. It just kind of fell off during disassembly. So let's put that aside with all the other parts we have here. Alright, our soldering iron is to temperature. Let's go ahead and desolder these little connections here. Just hold on to the wire, and then as you heat them up, they come up just like that, and we're free. So with the inside completely detached from the rest of the unit, we're going to set that aside, and we need to look at the rest of this casing, make sure everything comes out. First thing is going to be the numbers. The number pad kind of falls right out, so we'll set that aside. We've got buttons here for frequency and memory, it looks like, and then they're attached as one piece to the A and B push to talk. So those come out together. We'll put those aside. The next thing that comes off is going to be the cover for the mic and speaker, which is a flathead screw that holds it on. So we'll take that off. Put that aside, and then this cover will come right off. We'll put that aside as well. All right, so there's two little basically rubber pieces here that diffuse the light that indicate transmit and receive. So I'll pop those out, and we'll set these two units, two little rubber things aside. Okay, the rest of the casing does not come apart. So we've got the glass on here that you could take off if you're feeling adventurous. It's kind of glued in there, along with the batteries also. I mean, not the battery, the speaker is also glued in there. It's pretty well protected from getting paint globs on it. So I'm not going to mask that off. These are not open to the speaker. The speaker kind of comes through little vents here on this side. Here. So we're going to leave the speaker in there. I will cover up the leads so that when we go to resolder it, we don't have paint on there. So you'll want to tape and mask off the inside of the glass here, or the plastic for the screen, and the outside. You'll need to mask off the lens for the light, both inside and out. You'll need to mask off the speaker, and for the front case, that's about it. To mask these off, I would typically use some painter's tape, but in this case, because I'm going to be using an X-Acto knife to actually cut these out to make very precision cuts, I'm going to use this tape that's used to assemble batteries. I had some of this laying around for my battery assemblies. Just put that on there. All right, and this might leave a bit of a residue that we'll have to clean off after the fact, but I do like that it sticks very well, and I can be very precise with my cuts. I've tried to do this with painter's tape, and I've not had perfect results with that whenever I'm trying to cut very precision outlines here. So we'll take an X-Acto knife, and we'll run it along the edge here, right outside the window, using the edge of it as a guide. Make sure that tape is down there good. And all the way around to the bottom. Again, making sure that tape is down on that glass good. In my case, we'll just pull this off and see how it did. All right. I'm okay with that for a first attempt at a spray paint on a Bofang. So there's your example of a masking on the outside of the lens. The inside doesn't have to be as precise. We're not trying to do a sharp edge of paint. We just need to make sure that no paint overspray gets on the inside of that lens. So you'll take some of your scrap tape. Again, this is not precision work on the inside. You just need to make sure that those leads are covered. Also make sure that you get enough tape on the inside to cover that entire lens, and on top of the flashlight and on the inside. On the battery, make sure that we cover up the leads on the outside if you're painting the outside of the battery. And then I'll cover the inside. Again, this doesn't have to be precision. Just make sure that it's covered so that you don't mess up your label or your leads where it touches the actual guts of the radio here, where it slides on to these 2 points. All right, let's do some painting. All right, let's take a look at our paint selections. Over at Home Depot, we picked up some Rustoleum. This is a fluorescent pink, bright neon. That's what she chose, so I know it'll be right. And then To top it off, we're going to have a little bit of a bright surprise mixed in with that paint, and then we're going to add some Rustoleum clear gloss, and hopefully that'll give it a nice shiny finish. Took about 4 coats plus some clear coat. It's not the best job, but it's the right color, and we'll do another one and hopefully make the next one better. But this is what we've got: a little bit of glitter, a little bit of pink, and a lot of bowfang. All right, K5AJH, give it a shot.
Kilo 5 Alpha Juliet Hotel.
Goodbye to everybody. Tell them what you think of that.
I really like it. It's really me.
All right, we'll see you next time on Tech Minded Family.